I often struggle with the question of where exactly is the Indian city. Is it a territory? Is it a zone? Is it something else? And I've often found it very useful to think about the Indian city as a frontier. As a frontier on which there are all kinds of struggles happening. There are people crossing the borders. There's all kinds of smuggling happening across the borders. There are fights taking place, and this border is ripping through households. So if you ask me now at this point of time, which is the place that I find most exciting and most interesting about the Indian cities, I would say it is the Indian household. Because whether it is in the rural area or in the small town or in the big city, it is in the household that the city, the frontier is ripping through. Technologies of managing oneself, technologies of finding work, technologies of procuring provisions of various kinds, all of these are cutting through it. But people are also trying to make sense of their own lives through technology. They're trying to take decisions for which they are sometimes not equipped, sometimes they're equipped, sometimes you actually don't even have enough information. So that's the place where I think the most interesting things are happening in the Indian urban. Whether you look at floods in the city, whether you look at investments, whether you look at building of houses, whether you even look at migration decisions, and you'll see that a lack of understanding of these things is reflected in the kind of things that happened in the last 2-3 years, with millions of people walking back, and nobody understood why they were walking back, right? So if challenge in thinking about the Indian city as a frontier and paying attention to what is happening inside the households, is that we have actually been through about 20-30 years of research that has looked at individuals as decision makers without really looking at the collectives through which decisions are made. So as a result, I think what's happening is that we have a fair amount of writing about the built environment. We have a fair amount of writing about infrastructures. We have some understanding of larger agencies, institutions taking decisions, but we really don't know very much about how to even look at households and how they take decisions, right? And I think that therefore the places where they would be written about would be in literature, in fiction, in cinema. We'll be finding it in social media, in small bits and pieces that coming up. So maybe one of the things that social sciences and humanities researchers must be doing now is to look to literature or fiction and cinema as sources of understanding, as sources of data that we haven't done enough in the past.